Johnson, and this is Focus on Liberia. Hit it! From Kemau to Cape Palm, Mount Nimba to Atlantic Ocean, Obomi Hills to Boakai, to educate, elevate, and promote. Talk about home affairs, hey, in diaspora, current affairs, reliable information, history, talking about culture, politics, education, entertainment, business, sports, advertisement, articulation. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. From Monday to Sunday.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Focus on Liberia. This is Friday Night Debate. My name is Dennis Jai, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. In tonight's edition of Friday Night Debate, we're going to be debating where is President Boakai, or I call it tracking the JNB Plan. President Boakai has promised a lot of things, and he already started doing a lot of things. We want to see where we are with those things. Also, we're going to be discussing some current issues. The CDC strongman, the Secretary General, Jefferson Tamba Koji, the former city mayor of Monrovia, is outside today. We're going to talk about that too. Let me welcome the unapologetic and unabashed seditious Mr. Jerome Gaiman. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be on the platform.
Let me also welcome Mr. Jimmy Eastman from the nation's capital. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Jai, thanks for being here. And to all my fellow panelists, it's nice seeing you and looking forward to a good discussion.
Good. Let me also welcome the mother of the champion, Glendy Jane Jr. Welcome, Glendy.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here.
And by the way, let me tell you that Glendy's son, Jabez, won the 200 meters championship nationwide. And that's why her name has changed from Glendy's now to Champs Man.
That is it. And he was actually chosen to run for Liberia, so he's on his way to Ghana tonight.
Oh, wow. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me welcome Mr. J. Victor Namwe. He is a longtime UPP partisan. He toyed with the CPP during the election, and now he's back to UPP. Welcome, sir.
Hey, it is great to be here. Congratulations, Blending.
Thank you.
I can understand right now how you must be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Last and definitely not the least, let me welcome Pastor S.T. Salif, the Sustainable Development Coach. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Jai, and thank you, fellow panelists, and hello, everybody in television, radio land in Liberia and across the world. It's good to be here tonight.
Thank you. Today was the birthday or the celebration of J.J. Roberts' birthday, and we want to say all our fellow Liberians, we wish you happy holiday, happy J.J. Roberts' birthday. President Robert, that was our first Liberian president, and we did a pre-recorded show just to tell you who President J.J. Robert was or who he is, and so if you missed that, please check out our history channel and just Google President Joseph Jenkins Roberts on Focus on Liberia, and will come out. There's a lot of incorrect information out there about President Roberts. So watch the history channel, you'll get everything Well, let me welcome again all our viewers from across the globe. It is Friday. It's time for Friday night debate. So, as I said earlier, we want to be tracking the Boakai plan. Where are we with his to-do list? Let me remind you, there's a 100-day deliverable, and that deliverable, the plan was put out. It was a draft, and we're waiting for the final. Where are we with that? We'll also look at asset declaration, and let me add publication. Where are we with President Boakai and his cabinet on asset declaration? Are we there yet? Very soon, but quite recently, we had the asset recovery. That too was also set up. It's still in its very embryonic stage, but where are we with it? Is the team getting together now to start work? And don't forget, Operation No Car Stock in the Mud. Where are we for the first 100 days? The investigation in the inaugural program. Where are we with that? The investigation with the Army wives and the power theft murder. Someone was allegedly, accused of power theft, and that person was killed. The government, through the Justice Minister, apologized on behalf of the government. Also, the investigation into the Bay Mountain demonstration and also death. Where are we? And there was also something that some people call terroristic attack. Well, there's a young man whose car ran into the Unity Party headquarters. I don't know where are we with the investigation. So we're going to be tracking all these just to bring into focus where are we. But before we do that, today Jefferson Koji was outside CDC after Momba Molu resigned. They have a new chairman, and the former city mayor and also CDC secretary used that occasion to deliver a press conference. Take a listen.
Continue your safari, don't be duped. Exhibition, we say to you, have no fear about them. The government is not Boakai personal enterprise. The government is not Boakai personal enterprise. We defy you any sedition in this agency as temper wave to move in. Every agency. What tell you? Get prepared to deploy police at every government agency. Get prepared to deploy them. If you venture here and you think because you have an opportunity to preside here and that opportunity can be described as witch hunt on innocent Liberian, and you will be brought to your bended knees. I'm telling you people here, you mad apprentice and you think Boakai can save you, God, when they give you job, you better go and do what your friends are saying. That this thing without too sure that go and hustle, go and do your hustle. Stop disturbing. You asking for what you cannot contain. And we are prepared to restore that you are requesting for. So we say to you on our voice, you are legitimately employed at those areas. Have no fear, absolutely no fear. Any one of them who come and intimidate you, they are classical bluffers. They can do nothing. If you want to govern this place, govern well. Any agency that you think that you can make decision. To you young people, we know you very well, most especially you. Who are young people, they will know you. You held an agency. You better don't be carried away by the safari. You better stop, because when we come here, you will be the collateral damage here. Because Boakai will choose between you and what will be available. And now we are telling you, telling agency, ministry, every Liberian who are sedition, you have the right, has no fear for them. What are you talking about here? You can stop, man. Let's stop, man. I want to warn same gate. Same gate. Let's say you are threatening the EPS. These young people, you threatening them. Same gate, you lack the authority to dismiss them. We'll get you busy very soon. Very soon we'll get you busy. We'll dismiss them.
Well, that was the former city mayor, also current CDC secretary. Let me start with the unapologetic sedition because Mr. Gaiman, was this? I mean, tell me what's going on here. Is this something that the CDC kind of plan to say, or Mr. Koji is just a loose cannon? Do you know?
Well,
is this a CDC position? Let me put it that way.
Well, if it was a position, as you know, in the classical term, if there is a position, there will be a position statement. It will be read and published. What you are seeing there is a gentleman who is clearing the air and raving up his support base, giving them the red meat. Since the elections, people have said, let's give the new administration a few months to get their feet wet. And as it stands, it looks like they will never get their footing. So it is time for the men to come up and state very clearly what it is obtaining on the ground. As you can see, during the elections, we were told that we had able men and women who have been in government over 50 years, collectively, Mr. Grisby, Mr. Kofi Woods, Joseph Boakai, Gregory Coleman, Sam Gay, collectively, they got about 270 years of experience among them, between them. And for what we have seen on the ground, I think it's a fertile ground for the young folks to step up and say, we were sold what we call bait and switch. They came with this thing about experience that when they were going to hit the ground running. As it stands, there's no leadership in the country. After 3 months, actually after 5 months since the elections, we think by now Liberia will have been on strong footing. And as it stands, Liberia has nowhere to stand, and there's confusion everywhere. The lack of leadership.
So what is Koji's point?
Koji, it's a rally. That's what it is. That's why you do a rally. The objective of a rally is to give your base something to cheer for. That's why he's doing that. But that was not a position statement.
Okay. He also said that wherever CDC person, if you are attacked, just call, who will send security forces. Do you think he's kind of, and remember now he was being charged for operating this kind of militia. Do you think he's threading that path again?
Well, no. Obviously, the present government that was supposed to bring calm and security, as you can see, they lack that. They have returned or reverted to the old True We Party style. If they are demonstrating and you want to quarrel them, just go and shoot a few people and the rest will run. This is the operation of the True We Party from which Joseph Boakai and his likes come, and this is what they are doing.
Thank you. Talking about True We Party, somebody who knows a thing or two about True We Party is also Mr. Victor Nabe of the UPP. Mr. Nabe, what do you make of Koji's press conference?
Yeah. Look, first of all, I got news for him. One, the elections are over. Maybe he didn't get the memo. He's not the mayor of Monrovia anymore. Two, the kind of rhetoric he's spewing out there, that's what the people rejected. If he knew any better, he would know that thing cannot garner him the votes that he's looking for. Now, apart from that, he looks very scared. He sounds angry. Obviously, he's afraid. He's just issuing veiled threats, paper tiger. There's really nothing he can do. Absolutely nothing. I feel bad for the CDC, because in spite of what my friend Jerome Gilman is saying here, he is the Secretary General of the party. When he speaks, unless there is a disclaimer, he speaks for the party. So that is the party position he's speaking. So they have to be very mindful. Look, we just had elections, and the country is evenly divided. But there are a lot of us who are concerned too with the way this government is moving forward. But they have to be careful before they garner sympathy for this government. The kind of rhetoric he's spewing out there, that's not the kind of thing I want to hear. That's not the kind of thing I think the opposition should be embracing. And so whoever he listens to, they need to tell him to stop. He needs to knock it off.
You say he's afraid. What is he afraid of, in your opinion?
Well, he's afraid. I believe he's rattled by the announcement of the war crimes court. I don't know if he played any part in it. He must be afraid about the announcement of the asset recovery. Obviously, there are reports that he over the 6 years he amassed a lot of wealth. So hopefully he can provide justification of how he acquired all these possessions. So I think he's afraid because he knows what's coming down the pipe for him.
Yep. Let me go to Glendy. Glendy, you follow these things very closely. What is Koji up to, in your opinion?
I think I want to side with what Victor is saying. I almost want to describe him as a non-entity. Waste of words, waste of time. A young man who had 6 years, didn't do anything better for himself, but to continue to be insightful during the entire time. And after these elections, instead of trying to better himself, he continues to think that this is the way he's supposed to proceed. I would hope that the government will start looking at him. And so if he's becoming insightful, that they will question him and they will take him seriously, because he has a group of people who are behind him, who think that he's there, he's supporting them. But when trouble comes, he's going to leave them alone. And to a larger extent, he is the Secretary of CDC. So we're going to take that's their position, because that is why he spoke today. That's CDC's position. He can't threaten the government. He's like he's a nobody right now. He's just like me. He can't go there and say, oh, if they do anything, we'll go to the government offices, we'll do this and we'll do the other. What can he do?
But
Glendy, if he does that, he will get arrested. He is the Secretary of the CDC party. So whatever he spewed today, we will take it as a message from CDC. And I hope the government, the security agencies are listening to him. Complete waste of time for him. A young man needs to do something better for himself, and he's not doing that. He's been insightful. Yes.
You see, the reason you and I always go at it, because you usually speak from both sides of your mouth. You are saying he's
my mouth.
Listen,
my mouth.
Listen, you said he's a non-entity.
Yes.
Then you said government should take him seriously.
Yes,
So that's what we call double talk in politics.
Well, I'm saying that he's a non-entity, but they should still say what he's saying, because he has people behind him who has the potential to cause trouble. He's a non-entity. He's nobody. But he has those young people behind that can cause turmoil. And that's why they need to pay attention to what he's saying, and they should question him. So if you feel it's two different things, that's on you. That's how I feel.
Thank you. Jimmy, do you think the government should be concerned to maybe launch an investigation? Because do you see these things as threats that need to be investigated, that somebody got to check on him and see what's going on?
Okay, so I'm looking at the elements of his speech. How is he justifying retaliation or defense? And he is identifying that first, they are going after people who are in legitimate positions, legally appointed or employed in these various positions, and that this new administration is going after to dislodge, to remove, or replace them illegally by coercion, by, brute force or whatever, as we saw in the case with the NASCAR. So it's against that backdrop that he is saying you should be brave, you are not illegally employed, and you should stand your ground. So first of all, the administration, whatever they're doing, they should do it legitimately. You heard in the news lately about all this tenure jobs that are being now disputed, whether the executives should have the rights, should the tenures be all these tenure jobs, all these positions were erected by the very same UP party.
In other words, you are saying Koji has a point here.
Yeah, if you're going to do whatever you have to do it legitimately, because you would give them a chance to say what you're doing is unfair, illegal, and we have to defend ourselves. So all they have to do, whatever you're doing, let it be legit, let it be straightforward, let it be legal, so that there will be no justification for any kind of wanton retaliation. And that's what I'm looking
at. Thank you. Let me go to Reverend Salif. The CDC, this is second time around, or even third time opposing the Unity Party. So the CDC knows how to be opposition to Unity Party, and they know, especially Jefferson Koji, Mobile, these guys know to hit the UP where it hurts. Do you think the Unity Party should be concerned? Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Thank you for having me, Mr. Jab. Under normal circumstances, I would say, listen, ignore such a man, but not under the Liberian circumstances. We cannot ignore him because our youth have been militarized. We fought war for 14 years. And today we see all the youth, they're wearing beret, they're chanting war chants all over the place. Because of that, Jefferson Kochi cannot be ignored. His statements are reckless. His statements are inflammatory. His statements are insightful. Under normal circumstances, in other countries, he will be arrested for those words that he's speaking, because those are direct threats. And I will beg to disagree a little bit with Jimmy, because there's no right there, because as a country, there's a channel to process grievances. There's a path to go after grievances. So if the CDC feels that the people they had in tenure position were unfairly removed, there's the court system. And they have already filed petition. The Supreme Court has come in, the issue state order to say they should get police people ready. We will send people to every agency. That is violence. Our peace is still fragile. Let us not forget that. Our peace is still fragile, and anybody who does not feel uncomfortable with Jefferson Kochi's statement, then you are part of the problem. You got to feel uncomfortable, even if that is your party. That's not what you want Jefferson Kochi to be spewing in the streets of Monrovia. It should make anybody uncomfortable. This is reckless. This is inflammatory. This is insightful. We don't want jungle justice in our country. We've seen it. We know how it goes. And he's saying the young people should be careful, because when it goes down, they're the one will feel the weight. That is a threat of war. Listen, he should be arrested. That man should be on trial right now in a serious administration for spew. You cannot say those things.
Wait, excuse me, where you get this guy from?
Why are you asking? Why are you asking?
I'm a Liberian.
Jerome, I don't want you to talk like that. You can disagree with him.
No, I need to add this question, because if you have been in Liberia for the past 12 years, you will have seen, he will have listened to Joseph Boakai himself threatening the entire nation.
But let the man speak. Let the man finish his speech. Why you keep interrupting? No, because you keep interrupting people.
Let me talk. Let me talk
You
here.
interrupted me, and you will not know you will not. You will not speak. No, he has the floor. Mr. Salif has the floor.
Then
Jimmy, you don't have
I
the
have
floor.
the
And
floor.
Danny, you don't have the floor.
Let me
too.
have,
Jerome, you don't have the floor. No, you
All right.
don't.
Salif, please continue your statement.
So 2 wrongs cannot make it right. If you
That's
Jerome,
not
think
the
you
that,
can
point,
come
sir.
back.
I
Jerome,
got
you-
the floor.
Jerome,
You are
Jerome,
not on the floor. You don't have the floor. It's
Jerome.
Mr. Salif's turn.
Okay,
You
go
don't
ahead,
have the
sir.
floor.
Jerome, let Salif finish. We'll come back to you.
two wrongs cannot make it right, my brother. If you think Joseph Boakai did similar thing, that doesn't mean we should support another person for doing. 2 wrongs cannot make it right. We should go away from these things. Listen, if maybe we don't know, our peace is still fragile. We're not there yet. We're not completely out of the woods yet. So we have to be careful with these kind of statements that we make, that somebody think they have the boldness, the authority, that they can just stand in the public and just say anything. I mean, no, I believe in free speech. I'm the proponent of free speech, but this has gone beyond free speech. That's not free speech.
Thank you.
You are not.
Mr. Gaiman, where do
Yes.
you draw the line between red meat and inciting the people?
That was not incitement. The gentleman gave legitimate reasons. And the reason I'm asking Mr. Salif is as genuine as it can be and discredited for a man who says he's from Liberia for the past 6 years to have witnessed the Yaka Kolubas of the world, the Dara Dillons of the world, the Joseph Wakas of the world, the Humalis of the world who said, I kill people and I'm going to kill people. And I've done this before. And for these people to sit here and say that a man who expresses himself should be arrested immediately. Mr. Nambe, you and I were victim of the April 14, 1979 riot. And I'm seeing exactly the same words and the same behavior that happened when I saw what happened in Cape Mount, where Gregory Coleman sent men to shoot few people. It reminded me of April 14, when the justice minister said, you leave the street or you will be shot. And people went and got killed. The same thing happens. It is happening again. And they told Marcus Matthews, if you speak the way you speak, you should be, some say he should be hanged. Mr. Salim may be very strange to history to sit on this platform to tell us that a man who expresses himself should be arrested immediately and be put on trial for his freedom of speech. Mr. Salim is a dangerous.
Mr. Jai, Mr. Salim mentioned my name. Can I come back?
He's
I'll
not
come to you.
expressing himself.
I'll come to you. First of all, let me clarify. This is new to me. I don't think Mr. Gaiman was part of the 79 rights riot, even though he was a fan, but he was not.
Mr. Ja, 1979, I was 18 out of Bassel High School. I was one of the few that were trucked into Monrovia. You can talk to those who recruited us. Deacon Carlo recruited me out of Bassel High School.
Thank you. Thank you for your long advocacy.
Dennis, did Gregory Coleman send people to Cape Mount to send police to kill people in Cape Mount? I think we need to correct that. We can't just be here and
who is Gregory Coleman?
Did Greg Dennis? I'm speaking of Dennis Shaw, not you, gay man.
Who is Gregory Coleman?
Did Gregory Coleman send people to Cape Mount to kill citizens?
Who is
that
Gregory
never
Coleman?
happened?
No, there's no record of that.
Thank you.
No, Mr. Ja.
Thank you.
Who did the shooting? Wasn't the police, the Liberian police force?
Gregory Coleman did not.
Who is the commander of the Liberian police force?
We know you want your narrative. You come back with your
the commander of the police force?
Your false narrative.
Being the
commander send anybody to kill somebody in Cape Mount.
He sent police to kill people. But let me go.
Mr. Ja, it is under his auspices. It is his.
There is a difference. But there is a difference if people die at a police during protest than to say the police director or the IG sent them to kill people. So we can say it like that. But
so many people were killed under the President Weah administration. So should we charge President Weah?
Let me go to Jimmy. Jimmy, you stated that. Mr. Gaiman, let's talk one at a time, right? Jimmy, you said he called your name.
Yeah.
You imply or you said that Jefferson Koji has a point here because things are not being done right.
You
That's what
see,
Salih was
yes,
reacting to.
yes, and I'm looking at this from a point of maintaining the peace, at the same time, very cognizant of what has been happening to our country, to our community historically. And if we want to keep this government going, we have to be as fair and as balanced as we can. I'm not giving Jefferson Koji any right to passage, but I'm saying that you cannot take advantage of people and don't expect a reaction like that. Everything that the administration should do, they should do it legally, they should do it justly, or you can expect this kind of retaliation. Now, if you are upset or abhorred about the vehemence that's coming back after, well, then wake up. This is our existence. And that is why you should tread correctly and be as fair and as balanced in your proceeding. If you're going to replace somebody, it should be done the right way so you do not provoke this kind of action. This is what I'm saying.
Jimmy, what could the government have done to prevent what Jefferson Koji said today?
What they're saying is that they are going after legitimate people. You have heard people getting taken off the payroll. I've been hearing a lot of stories. I'm just telling you what I've been hearing. I'm not sure what all the information Mr. Koji has gotten, but people have been taken off the payroll. People in tenure positions are being sought after. There's been several stories that now the word witch hunt is circulating around. And I'm saying the government has a right to go after anybody who has done something illegal. The government has a right to go after anybody who needs to account for the way they use government funds. But all I'm saying, it should be done legitimately and not give anybody a chance to say they're doing something wrong against us. Don't give them that space.
If I may just come in.
Thank you. Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, look, we've come a long way for the ability to express ourselves freely. And that is a freedom that we have earned over the years. We will guard it jealously. But we must also express ourselves responsibly. I listened to Mayor Koji. He's alleging that he's forecasting witch hunt. Well, he has to prove that. But not only that, he's announcing that if anybody feels that there is witch hunting going on in their area or on their person, they should let them know and they will send people to defend them. How is he going to defend the people? Last time I checked, only the government has the security apparatus. Does he have a militia? You mentioned that already. It's one of the reasons that he was highlighted. That is illegal. And I don't think any government should tolerate that. I think they should call him in for questioning if you continue to speak that way. He can express himself at a political rally. You can rally the base and do whatever you want, but you don't have the right to incite violence. If he's doing that, he's threatening the peace. Then I think he should be called in for questioning.
Thank you. Glendy, I want you to conclude on this one.
I mean, I think Victor just summarized it. I think it's a serious thing with what he's doing, and it should not be taken for granted. They should question him because there were some things that he said there that has the potential to escalate. So he should be questioned.
But you think this will, if not handled properly by the government, will put the UP and the CDC on a collision course?
They're already in a collision course. It's nothing new. They've been there. And the fact that UP won and CDC didn't win is even worse. And just to go back to what Reverend Salif said, they have the court of law. If you feel that they're removing tenure people from in positions that they should be in, go to court. And you can't say if UB goes and audit the different payrolls and find out that there are ghost workers there, you can't say, oh, those were illegitimate. I mean, like, who is Koji really to be talking now?
But more than that, Glenn, this man has a history of inciting violence.
Yes.
He is not just an ordinary person. He
Mr.
has a
Hamid.
track record of inciting violence. We want peace. We want to peacefully protest our government. Nobody wants to go out in the street and
Thank you.
violate the law. He has to work within the law.
Mr. Namwe, free speech is guaranteed by the Constitution of Liberia. If he violates any law, the law has to be very specific after the
I
penal
agree with you,
law.
Jerome. But
He
listen,
has not.
there is responsibility that goes to free speech. It's not
And
because
that's
you go to
fine.
Free
Has
speech
he-
is
did he-
limitation.
did he- did he violate any law?
So we're
What I'm
talking
saying
off
is
camera now.
he's
No.
Yeah.
Free
already
speech,
fighting
free speech
violence.
has limitation.
All right.
Free speech
All right.
has
Let me bring in our comment. Baron Brown said, did Glendy say the same thing when JNB made the same threats during the election?
No.
I don't know if
What-
any did, but I tell you
Threat
this,
about what? Threat about what?
What was the threat? Let's hear it.
Yeah,
Okay,
what was
okay.
the threat? What was
look,
the
I
threat that
remember
Jerome
all of us
Okay.
sitting down on the
let me
Jeep
hear you.
when
What,
he
what,
said-
did, what did he
So
say?
we'll wait for
Said there will
Baron.
be no
Baron.
Liberia. There will be
No,
no
I think he meant
Liberia.
when the president said, if the president we had tried to cheat, that would be the end of Liberia, something like that.
That's
I mean,
that's,
all of us here,
it's
we agree
completely
to a
different.
person. He said that
there
was
you
I
go.
won't
reckless.
even
There you
address
go.
it. I won't even respond to what he's asking. I
Why?
wouldn't
Why?
even respond.
When President Boakai said, that would
Because
be the end of the.
I'm not going to equate it to Jefferson Koji.
Oh,
We know Koji, we know his behavior, we know what he does. We know that he's a loose cannon. So I'm not going to equate it to him.
We also know that
I will
Joseph
not.
Boakai was a member of the Lofa
The
Defense
debate is
Force.
not between you and I
We know he
tonight.
was a member of the
It's not
Defense
Are
between
we
you and
are
I
we
tonight.
are we
Because
are
if
we
you
are we
we know
doing
if you
that.
that,
want us to go
Jerome?
between you and I, it can definitely go between you. It's not
Jerome,
just for tap
Jerome,
tonight.
do you really want to
But
do this?
but wait,
It is the
Mr.
fact.
Ja,
It is the
Mr.
fact
Ja.
Joseph Boakai
It
was
is
a member
not
of the
easy.
Lofa Defense Force.
Jerome, we don't
Dennis
have to
asked
do
me a
this.
question and I
Yeah,
responded.
Jerome,
I will
please.
not answer Baron.
There is
Because
no record
Baron
Mr. Ja.
anywhere.
Joseph Boakai and
Mi-
Koji are two different
Mr. Ja.
people.
Yeah, hold on.
Mr.
They're
Ja.
not the same.
There is no record anywhere where
Yeah.
Joseph Boakai was or identified as member of the Lofa Defense Force.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ja,
Where he is.
Mr. Ja.
Follow the war. Very
Hamilton
closely.
Hamilton Zili just made a comment, and and if you look at that comment, he says padding the various ministries with unqualified blind loyalists who did not go through the CSA process of employment and was recruited at the 11th hour of the CD makes no sense. Okay, so here's one of the scenarios.
Right. And this is his opinion, right?
Yeah, but
that's his opinion.
One of the things
he
the
is, hold on.
CDC is,
He is, according to Hamilton, they are padding the various ministry with unqualified people he deemed unqualified. So that's his opinion. Let's get that out there.
Right. That's his opinion. So this is one of the things that's being cited by the Koji's CDC group. If this is true, let's give it a scenario. What is the procedure to go about it so it looks fair and honest? This is what I'm saying. This administration has to proceed in a transparent, clear, just way so it does not appear as a witch hunt. Because we have a fragile democracy, it is very it's incumbent upon this administration that to proceed with care, and they can address this issue without it becoming a national crisis.
And
But
Jimmy, let me
Jimmy,
push you a little bit.
Jimmy,
Do you see Koji's statement has been inciting violence?
It was very incendiary, if you ask me. But was it without cause? Are you not giving him reason for doing it? That is why I'm saying do not make the wrong mistakes.
Thank you.
Don't
Yeah,
make
but
any
Jimmy,
bad steps.
Jimmy, let's be fair. Let's be fair and equitable here, okay? If somebody is saying they pardon those ministries with unqualified people or loyalists, Koji is not the poster child for that message. What qualification did he have to become the Monrovia Senate mayor? All the people CDC employed during the 6 years of WIA, were they not party loyalists? Oh, so when they did it, they were qualified. But certainly now, those people being employed by JNB, certainly they are not qualified. Koji
Yes.
was qualified,
That
but
is
he was
serious.
basically
Mr.
made.
Sunny,
No. I think you're getting it
Mr.
a little
Sunny,
bit mixed up, Sunny.
I think you're missing the
I
whole
want us to move on. I want
Yeah,
us to
what?
move on. We have a lot to
Give me,
cover tonight.
give me Koji's qualification
The
before you.
Yeah, yeah,
it is
let's
CC have
leave
been
that.
accused of padding the payroll, not
Yeah.
JNB.
Thank you. Let's move
Okay,
on. Let's
okay.
move on
Got
to
it.
ladies and gentlemen, this is Friday night debate, and we're going to be tracking the Boakai plan. Where are we with his to-do list? Let's start with his 100 days deliverable. As you know, there's a 100-day deliverable. The plan came out. It was incomplete and it was in the draft form. They told us they're going to take it back and finalize it. Where are we with the final product, Reverend Salif?
I think we are very far from achieving that 100 days deliverable. We already got more than 50 days in the administration. And as I was preparing to come on air, I was just picking through the draft that we had. And I wouldn't have the time to go through everything, but just look at when under Ministry of Youth and Sports, they said that there were a set date for the resumption of the county meet and do it ideally 1 month after inauguration because county teams are currently mobilized and incurring expenses. It's more than 1 month after the inauguration. We're still not anywhere, and that's just one aspect. And I can go on and on. I just highlighted a few places in that 100 days deliverable when it comes to Central Agricultural Research Center, CARI. They said that they were going to revitalize the board of CARI to ensure oversight and support for its technical and operation enhancement, Director General for Research, and so many other things. And they have start date and finish date. And most of those things finish dates are May 5th. And we are very close to it. I mean, under women development, I saw something there too that I also highlighted. And so I think we are under gender, youth, children, and social protection with the nationwide assessment on rape cases. And show rape cases are cataloged and submitted to the Ministry of Justice. I mean, we are so far from any of these things. And I don't think from what I see that they'll be able to even get to quarter of the 100 days deliverable within 100 days.
But is that document even finalized yet?
Yes, it's been finalized now.
Where is it, Jimmy? Talk to me about
the press secretary told us that it was finalized and she was going to release it, but I haven't seen the released 100-day final copy.
And that's the point, Jimmy. That's the point that I'm making. Even the document that's supposed to spell out the deliverables is more than 50 days. The document's not even out yet. Then when do you start to tackle those deliverables? So, it was a good step in the right direction, but it's going to fall short of the expectation.
So Jimmy, you next.
Yeah.
As you were saying, the 100-day plan, the plan itself is not finished yet because we don't have it.
Well, let me tell you how I feel about this whole thing. I think
but first of all, where are we with the plan itself?
Listen, that's what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
John, we are technical people. If you tell me in 90 days, in 100 days, we would have finished a program, or software, or network, we would have completely built it. You have to have that plan, that blueprint, how we're going to get there. If you don't even have the blueprint, how we're going to get there, and you simply stipulate it, then I'm gonna say, well, this is political speech, and I'm gonna chuck it up to that. Because if you're gonna achieve those things, and you don't have the blueprint, you don't have the roadmap, you don't have all the various tasks we have to complete before getting there, then you know what you're just saying is ambitious. It may inspire, it may motivate, but it's not a concrete plan that we can follow. And until I have that, as an engineer from my background, we don't have a plan yet. But we have very ambitious thoughts and motivations. That's it. That's all that was up to this point.
Glendy, let me go to you on the 100-day deliverable and the 100-day plan itself. Where are we with that?
I don't know. I
And
know
what
they
does
have
that
a
say?
draft. I know they have a draft. I know that the press secretary has said that it's completed. Whenever they release it to the public, that's when we'll know where it is. I don't know.
Right. And are we so when we're writing our project plan, we say not started, in progress, complete, or cancel. So when it comes to the 100-day deliverable, what will you say? What will you say, Glendy? Not
In
started.
progress. In progress.
And what will be the percent completion?
So how can I go to completion when you ask me in progress? When it's
No,
in
I mean
progress.
percent. Is it 10% complete, 12% complete?
No, it's
20%?
still in progress. It's still in progress. Nothing's completed. It's in progress.
So maybe 20% complete.
That's for you. I'm saying it's in progress.
Yeah, anytime we say in progress, we report on the percent completion rate.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't know that percentage unless I know what's in the full document. But from what we're hearing, I think there are bits and pieces here and there, so everything's in progress. I don't think anything has been completed based on what we saw originally.
And about the Mr. Gaiman, our first thing here is the 100-day deliverable and also the plan for the deliverable. Where are we?
Mr. Jai, I was here with you several months ago, and I used a terminology or the word that you say it was harsh. I told you Joseph Boakai was a fraud, and you told me it was too harsh. And you asked me why, and I defined what the word fraud is. Fraud is making a false impression. And this is exactly what it is. Joseph Boakai did something in politics we call bait and switch. You come up with these flowery talk and say, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. Everybody cheering. And then when time comes, it's actually a blank piece of paper. Joseph Boakai has no plan. We said this, and it is now self-evident. A woman I respect, a woman that I have dealt with, a woman that I supported when she was running in Cape Mount because she is so articulate. If she herself now saying that paper that was given to us meant absolutely nothing, it was going to be revised, redone, and then resubmitted. That tells you everything that was being said. It was just, like they say, political talk. You cannot hold them to anything because, like Glendy said, it is in progress. Nobody knows what is there. 50 days.
And what do you say when it comes to the 100-day deliverable? Not
We
started,
worry
in
about
progress,
Glendy.
complete,
I
or
only
cancel?
Glendy here for tonight. We want to hear from Glendy.
I will tell you the 100-day plan that Joseph Boakai promised during the campaign has been canceled.
Oh, cancel?
It's canceled. When you come out, they're going to come out with something totally different. Not all of the things that he promised. So all of the things that he said,
Victor,
like Mr. Aliyu Kamara said, those were political jargon. Now the real plan is being made. So the people who defended it are telling you that those were just jargons. They were not actual plans.
Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Namwe.
Yeah.
The plan itself, we have the draft. It's not finalized yet, or at least we've not seen it. Where are we?
We do. We do have a draft, and I have always said I don't know, but who the advisors. I mean, the write-up says there were several meetings held when this plan was drawn up, but I have always said that plan was overly ambitious. First of all, the election results were announced in November. Right, so this is March. That's almost 4 months. The budget is just coming out. Where is the funding that was supposed to finance these things? So they gave us about 12 different, cardinal areas that they were going to address, ranging from health to education to road network to even cleaning up the drainages around Monrovia. I don't think that has been started. And so we've gone 50 days. I doubt. Some of them, they will come back to us and tell us the results because some are difficult to measure until they report to us. But the ones that we are able to physically verify, for instance, the road networks and all that, everybody here will agree with me. Nothing in that direction has started. And so it's difficult to understand why they throw us this, this elaborate plan. And they're not Ellis Cummings who was going to find his first $100 million and put it out in the first 1 year, and impact the economy. I don't know why they made these promises, but it saddens me to say the 100 days will come and pass, and this will be held against this government as like someone said, bait and switch, like when people say Vlad. I don't believe any of these things would have even been started after the first 100 days.
So what we say, where you say we are not started, in progress, complete, or cancel?
I like to be generous to say in progress, but
and what will be the percent completion?
I have maybe 1% completion. I don't know. Well, at least there is the formulation of a plan. I think that is good. I've said that it took the CDC more than this time to give us a plan. So I think that's a good thing. So
while you are still on the floor, let's go to asset declaration.
Right.
That's something required by law that you do that before you start work. You do it during, and then when you are leaving or getting promotion or resigning.
Right.
Where are we? And let's just stick with the president and his cabinet. Right. Where are we with asset declaration? And if I may add, publication, disclose it.
Yeah. So I think the asset declaration was started very poorly. I think the president missed the mark. I think he waited a good 2 weeks or so before it was reported that he had declared his asset. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to go with the press report that he has. But I think a good gesture would have been to do so on January 22nd, on the day that he was, or probably on January 21st.
So according to where we are now, will you say asset declaration? Of course, it's in progress. So if you look at the president and all his cabinet members, will you say what is the percent completion rate?
I will be able to tell you if I know anyone who has declared. I don't know of any cabinet minister who has. I know the president has. I'm not sure. I'm unaware of any cabinet minister who has declared theirs.
According to Mr. Ahmed Salif, the 100 days deliverable, that's on pause. Jude Cooper says 50% complete.
50%?
Jimmy, where are we with for asset declaration?
I think I want to be honest with you. The whole point of asset declaration is for transparency, okay? But there are no consequences for it. And because there are no consequences, it's a waste of our time. If there were consequences for you not declaring your assets, that you will not take your seat or you will be held in contempt, we will understand it. There's no consequences.
So the president can require that from his cabinet, right? If he wants.
Yes, yeah, but what is the law? We have to stop doing things that just wasting our time. If we're going to have asset declaration, which is a good idea for transparency, but then have no consequences for not doing it, then it's a waste of time. We have to stop doing things that waste our time. We have limited resources and we're way behind the 8 ball with all African countries. Why are we still wasting our time with trivial things that would do us no good? We could do something.
Asset declaration is trivial.
Yeah, Dennis, I have to push back on Jimmy here. I really disagree that this is a waste of time. He makes a good point that we're working with very meager resources, and that is the reason why the resources must be managed effectively. The point of the asset declaration is to foster graft. It is not just asset declaration, it's assets and liabilities. There's so many people who are coming into the government who already are indebted to people. We want to understand what their obligations are. So I don't really believe it is a waste of time.
No, but Mr. Nambe,
Yes.
Typically when they ask officials to declare it, it is made available to the public for transparency and accountability, not our own. It's in secret. You just defeated the whole purpose. This is what I'm saying. We're not doing things right. Mm-hmm. Even the things we want to do, we don't do it correctly.
So, Jimmy, based on that, where are we with asset declaration?
We know where we got started. Some will do it, some will not. No consequences. We'll forget about it. Be somewhere else 6 months down the road.
Will you say the JNB is cabinet 10% complete with asset record or declaration?
I haven't heard that many completed. You know, I haven't heard.
So what number will you give it? This is 2%.
What would number I would give it?
Yeah.
And not N/A. You know, when
yes, not available. Glendy, asset declaration. Where are we?
But they haven't started yet. I don't understand how we're looking for answers and we're judging them when the guy has not even started work yet. I think it's
no, asset declaration, not the asset recovery. Asset declaration.
Well, only a few people did it. You gotta have even the speaker. I don't think the speaker has done his yet. I know the president did.
The speaker is not part of the executive.
I know that. Can you please give me a chance? You're not here for me tonight. Give me a chance to speak. Please. Let me. And the speaker has not declared his asset. I know the president did. I know the vice president did. I know the pro tem has, and a few other senators and representatives. So they've gone. I don't see there's anyone from the executive branch, that ministers and stuff, who have done that. So I think they're nowhere yet with that, because if you only have maybe roughly 10 people from the executive and the legislative branch, then you don't have anybody who's done it.
But shouldn't they do so, though, man?
They should. They should do it.
It
is expected, and it's wrong. And everyone that did it, they were all against the law. Even those people who, even like Dylan, them who did theirs, they did it late. So they should do it. It's an expectation.
Absolutely.
But Glenn, shouldn't they make it public? If they keep it secret, what good is it?
Well,
the whole idea is to combat corruption, and then they keep it quiet.
The law is they have to declare their assets, and if some people have, though late, they've done that. They have a bureau who's in charge of it. Once they've gone through that, then they can tell them to make it public. I don't really care what's in there. What is it that's in there that we wanted, what difference is it going to make? George Weah was president for 6 years. We didn't know what he told you that you got to know about your wife and children property. So why are you coming to be talking about Boakai now? When you didn't
I'm talking about the whole process.
George Weah to do it.
We're not talking about Boakai.
No,
I'm talking about the whole process of asset declaration.
But
we have not made sense of it.
Jimmy, you are good with it. What does declaration mean?
Thank you.
To declare and say, this is what I have.
Right. And so
if it's a secret, what good is it?
Right, declaring without making it public.
Exactly.
I don't think that's declaration enough. Mr. Gaiman.
Mr. John, I know that sometimes I tickle your bones when I say these things, but I have been part of asset declaration in the United States. When I put up my house, for whatever reason, there are two things that happen in the actual asset declaration in the real civilized world. When I say my house is worth $500,000 or $800,000, the bank will have to verify to make sure that what I say my house is worth is what it is worth. I can't just come out and say my house is worth $1 million and they just take a carte blanche. That's not how it works. Like, for instance, the representative Musa Hassan Bility said he worth millions of dollars. Okay, some of us will say it's a pretext for theft down the road. Do we have any mechanism in Liberia to verify that Musa Bility is worth those millions? Because down the road, if this man acquire more wealth, you cannot question it, because he told you in advance that he's worth $35 million US with no verification system. So the whole thing in Liberia, I know people say we are very difficult, we lorate Liberia, we are denigrating and all of that, but those of us that have been through the system knows that this is not how it works. Glendy will tell you, if she owns a business and you go to the bank to have a business loan, they will want to know the valuation, what that business is worth. They go through your books, your account payable, your income, your liability, and they determine your worth. In Liberia, you just come up and say, I worth $35 million that I have declared my asset. That's not how it works.
But let me ask this. Let me
Listen,
answer. I'm sorry, Joe. Is
Hold
this
on, hold on. Let him finish. Let him
the,
conclude.
the law, according to Joseph Boakai, when he was on VOA, he says, I'm a man of law and transparency. And all of those that I appointed will be people of integrity. They will declare and publish their assets before they take office. He said he was going to declare.
No, he didn't say that.
He said he was going to declare and publish his assets. Didn't he say that?
He's back.
You said he would declare his asset before he take office. He didn't say that.
Okay, he didn't say that.
No.
What did he say?
He talked about declaring an asset, but he didn't give us time that he will do it before or after.
No, but what does the law say?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The law said this, but he didn't say that on VOA. I just want you to quote him correctly.
Listen to the Mr. Jai, in your defense of Joseph Boakai, you are
No, I'm not defending.
The president is the chief law enforcer. The president is the chief law enforcer of the country. He says, the law says you have to declare your asset before you assume office. He is the president. He violated our law. He never declared his assets. This man campaigned for 6 years that he would do that. And then he took office, he never did. So he violated the law. So he set the precedent, it was a domino effect. Now he cannot go to anybody and tell them to declare the asset before they take off because he never did. He violated the law.
Thank you. Pastor Salim, why, the president already declared his asset, why aren't his cabinet minister following suit?
Yeah, because I think he was at fault. That's why they're not following suit. Based on the 100 days deliverable framework that was created, access declaration, most of those things, the start date is January 23rd and the end date is May 5th. So because the end date is May 5th, I would still give them benefit of doubt to see what happens between now and May 5th. But when I watched the president when he went to declare his assets, President Boakai should have looked in the camera and say, I am declaring my asset as the president of the Republic of Liberia, and I insist that every cabinet member who will work in my administration should follow suit and do same. He should have made some strong statement to make sure people follow suit, but he did not do any such thing. So he's not challenging his cabinet officials to even do anything. There are two documents that we're just talking about. Assets declaration in the 100 days deliverable framework. They talk about two things. They talk about signing the integrity pledge. You got to sign the integrity pledge, and you have to in fact, the assets declaration was termed as the outcome of that process. So he has to insist that this thing is done. If he can't do that, then we're not going to be able to stem up corruption. And to Jerome's credit, what is the mechanism that we have in place that if somebody declared the access, we can verify that what this person has declared is actually the standard. That's what it's supposed to be. People just coming up frivolously and say, hey, I'm worth $2 million. And then we just say, oh, yeah, declare assets. What is the verification that Donald Trump is in trouble for that today? He will inflate his assets. He will deflate his assets. So those are the things that got him in trouble. So we can't just say, oh, this is what I'm worth this. And then we say that assets has been declared. So we got more work to do. We got 100 days. We've got more than 50 days. And as I always said, to turn it over to you, I said every political party, every serious political party is a government in waiting. The elections was done on October 10, 2023. From October 10, at least let's say 2 weeks, roughly 3 weeks, we knew who the winner of the election was. From the day that former president, we have made that call to Joseph Boakai and said, listen, I concede the elections. They should have got to work and started working on this framework for the 100 days deliverable. So that right after inauguration on the 23rd of January, the 100 days deliverable should have gone into effect. But if you are taking more than 50 days and you're still working on the documentation that's supposed to be the framework for the 100 days deliverable, then definitely you can know that it's not a sustainable development. there are indicators that we have to look at, that if something's going to work or not. And we ask the question, why do projects fail? And there are various reasons why projects fail. I won't say like Brother Gilman is saying that he's a fraud. Fraud has to be something with an intentional intent. So I don't think what he did was intentional intent. They just the over broadened the 100 days deliverable. The scope was just too big. They should have reduced it in bite sizes, and that's what's giving them the confusion.
Thank you. And someone told me when President Tubman wore the tail coat, everybody wore that. President Tubman wore total involvement, higher height, everybody wore that. When
President we are war propo, everybody wearing it.
All the women were wearing that. President we are propo. Now President Boakai took the drug test. Why nobody is following suit, Mr. Salif?
It's the same thing. I mean, he should insist. It's not just, hey, I'm doing it. You know, put some standard behind what you do. I am doing it, and I insist that all my cabinet members do same. You know, you got to put some action behind your words. You know, you can't just do it and say and figure out the other people will do it on their own. That's why people trusted you. I don't want us to keep going back to previous administration. The reason we removed the CDC the Liberian people removed the CDC administration, it was because of those lapses. So now that we have the JNB, I expect President Boakai and his team to be very astute in the approach, in the execution. I expect them to be very exemplary in everything they do, because they came under that hashtag rescue mission, and that put a lot of weight on their shoulders. So definitely Gilman is going to hold their feet to the fire. Even though
but Salif, I see you wearing a hat already.
I know, I'm trying to belong.
So Glendy, we're talking about leading by examples here. President Boakai declared his asset, and we say, where are we? You know, most of them have not done so. Also, with the issue of the drug test was to combat drugs, right? So he took the drug test. Where are we with combating drug? And because taking the drug test, nobody is following his example to take the drug test. I mean, his cabinet. What's going on?
I will hope that at some point in time he will encourage them to do that. I think when you compare President Boakai to President Weah, with all of the ills, with all of the things that they have not been able to do right now, you can see that I think what he's asking for is something that requires a lot from people. Propose to just go to the tailor and make clothes and wear it. Everybody will wear it. Go to drug tests is something that people will not want to do easily, because even as a nurse, that's an invasive process. So that's something that if people are involved in drug, you have to either make it a law or make it a requirement. Right now, it's not a law. It's not forced. It's something he asked them to do, something he said that he would do. If it's when you're here, any job you go to, it is a requirement that you do a drug test. So if they wanted to be serious, let them take it to the legislative people. Let them make it a law. Let them make it a requirement, and you will see everybody will fall in line. But if he's just asking, they're not going to listen. He said, Judge, we have to our West Nico and propose to everybody who can make you get a lapa, you sew your clothes. That one is easy. Make it a law and see whether the people will follow. Right now, no one's going to pay attention to that. People will do it if they want to. Even the Boakai supporters, they're not doing that. So let them make it a law and make it a requirement for a job hire, and people will go do the drug test. Right now, that one are just flat.
I mean, to enforce the 100 days deliverable, I mean, it's going to take a process to go through legislature before it can be signed into
law. I don't think
he can issue an executive order on some of those.
He could do that if he wants to make it serious. He could do that, but that's a far-reaching stuff. It is, if it's not a requirement and if it's not an executive order, it's not a law. No one's going to go do drug tests. Here in America, it's a requirement.
It's a requirement, right from their orientation.
Yeah, but the leaders, as a leader, you inspire people.
Yeah, so this is the thing, Dennis. You cannot compare apples to oranges.
Yeah, but why is President Boakai not inspiring the people? He's setting some good examples, and nobody is following him. Hold on, Granny. They say if you are leading and nobody is following you, you're only taking a walk.
Well, because this is the thing, that what you're asking people to do, It's nothing simple. You're asking people to do something that they're not accustomed to doing. That is different from saying ta heta or wear purple suit.
But
That's
Glendy,
different.
When President
Glendy, I
Tubber
know
or
you and I
President
want.
Doe started visiting offices, people were going there on time, because if you're not on time, they will fire you, right?
True.
So,
Still can't equate it to drug tests.
But
Heta
What
cannot be equated
about
to
asset declaration? You still can't equate that?
you
but
Because he declared asset, nobody's following him.
and that's why he needs to be held accountable.
No,
That's
but
why people need to start speaking to him directly.
Glendy,
If you have done, hold on, Mr.
Hold
Gibbon.
on, Gilman. Hold on, Mr. Gilman.
If you have done this, why are you not holding your employees accountable? Why are you not saying that this is an expectation? I need to make sure that you do that. He has to be the one to take charge and do that. If he's not going to do that, he's not going to. If you're sitting here after he declared accident, it took his vice president almost 2 weeks to declare his.
you see that is where
So
leadership comes in.
he needs to be able to hold them accountable and say,
Thank you.
this is something that I want us to do, and you must do it. If he doesn't do it, nobody's going to follow him. No one will do that.
And you know, talking about that,
Hold on.
you know, hold on, Dennis. You've been telling me to hold on for too long. Hold on for a second. The president, there's a reason why the president has the bully pulpit, right? And because it amplifies his action, his message. What would have happened if the president had lined up maybe 4 or 5 different cabinet members behind him to do the drug test at the time?
Thank you.
And that would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
What would have happened if he had called the press and presented a stack of documents to declare his asset? I think that would have been more impactful. So all of these things we're saying, you know, I think he means well, but he is not leading well.
Yes.
You know,
Mr. John,
And it's going to take a learning process.
and doesn't it
Let me go to Gilman.
doesn't the LACC have a responsibility to invite people in to declare the asset?
Hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Gilman.
you see, when we talk about public policy, you have to pay keen attention. Why we say it was just a bluff of lie. I think Mr. Salib is here. He's a coach. He will reason with what I'm saying. First of all, it was a PR stunt. Okay, if President Boakai had done his drug test and said, let everybody go out and do their drug test. Jimmy Eastman does the drug test and failed. Nambe does it and fail. Gilman does it and fail. Sally does it and fail. What's next? There is no policy. Joseph Boakai didn't say if anything happens, this is the amount of program we have, and this is the budgetary aspect of supporting this policy. If 1 million people took the drug test and we find out that they all failed, then what's next? There should be a policy that say we are either doing residential treatment, we are doing detoxification, and this is what it's going to cost, and this is person who is going to be in charge. And Glendy is a nurse, you know how it is, how it works. When you identify these people, you have to either come up with a plan of action. How are you going to treat them? Who's going to treat them? Where? Are you treating them at home, at a facility? Are you going to hold it? It takes a lot of, it's a policy issue. So
Mr. Gilman, the drug test not started, in progress, complete, or canceled?
It's canceled.
All right, that takes us to his biggest promise. In 100 days, no car will be stuck in the mud. I was born and raised all the way beyond God back, where you have a lot of mud. Where are we with that, Glendy? No car gets stuck in the mud. Is it started?
I think we're all on social media today. We saw pictures posted by one of the government officials who said that they're now having trucks come to Lofa or whatever region. So that may be something that's alluding to the fact that they're going to get started. If we don't hear it, and we don't hear the press secretary saying it, I'm still going to say that it's in progress because we don't have anything to back it up.
We will say it's not started, right? Because we didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can say it's not started, but I want to equate everything that they've talked about to hope, to be a little hopeful and say that it's in progress.
So we are all hopeful, Glendy, but we have to be realistic, right?
Which is true. But if I saw yellow trucks today, And the person that did the post or it's being shared around, he's saying the yellow trucks are there now because they're going to do they're going to start the road project. Then I can say that it's in progress.
But Tony, this is a big deal. This is what the president promised long before he took office. No car will be stuck in the mud, right?
True.
So if it is started, you don't think somebody should tell us? It shouldn't come from a random post.
You haven't heard me yet. I said we have not heard that it has started.
Okay.
But today we saw postings. There were postings alluding to the fact that it's going to be starting soon. And I think that whatever is on his 100 days thing, those are things that he promised the Liberian people. Those are things that need to be done. And they need to address it and take it seriously. But if Liberians don't start asking and start holding the president accountable and saying, you promised this, then the rest of it will just be whenever they can get to it, they will get to it. So
we are asking tonight.
Yes, we're asking. We may just be asking Liberian people. Let's put a petition together. Get people to sign it and send it to the president.
No, we're not supposed to do that.
Mr. John, real quick, can I interject real quick? On your show here, you hosted the young man who was the proponent of that idea. That's Mr. Dualu. Dualu told you here on your show when you hosted him that when he was in the U.S. Marines, he was in Laos. And the road in Laos was so terrible that when the government came in, they decided to break, basically, he says, every mountain that had rocks. They broke them, and those rocks were used by the military to make sure that every road in the area, that was his idea. So now that he himself has been sidelined, I don't know whether it is possible now.
No, but he was not a brainchild of that project. He was only given reason. Maybe he was trying to get somewhere. Victor, you and I know the road from Freeport to Douala.
Yeah.
If we would start a project on that road, by this time, where you think we should be? Maybe around Seyon or Logantown Junction? So, and I said that to say, no car stuck in the mud in the first 100 days. Where are we? Now started, in progress, complete or cancel.
Yeah, I like the optimism and generosity of those who are saying, in progress or on pause or whatever it is. I think this has not started, in all honesty. If what Glennie is reporting was reported by some minister, some cabinet minister, whoever it is, don't you think there should be an inaugural program by the whole government to announce this thing if they really started? So I'm going to go out here and say they haven't really started. Somebody's probably trying to be nice, whatever it is. But we will know. I mean, I was going through the 100-day deliverables and all of that. Little things like cleaning the drainages around Monrovia, right? Cleaning the alleyways and all of that. I don't think those have even started. So to say that, after 100 days, I will travel from Monrovia to Harper and not get stuck in the mud, I find that still a pipe dream. Nothing has been started.
Mr. Namwe, real quick before you go, and I agree with you because these are milestones, like you say in politics, milestone. You saw the president cutting ribbon at a telephone booth. Was that a telephone booth or something? Police something or police headquarters or something. They were the police booth.
Police booths, yeah.
It was to them. It was a milestone, and the president was there cutting the ribbon. Something as major as a road development.
Correct.
Will have been an international news bonanza. So I just wanted to direct you.
No, I'm really agreeing with you, Jerome. This is something that were to happen. I expect the president to maybe assemble people at Pinsville Red Light or Douala Maga, wherever. Call a big gathering, put a yellow machine and cut the ribbon and initiate the road, whatever they may want to call it. But I don't think we've seen any of that, and we certainly don't see any signs of anything ongoing.
And the two roads, people always will make mention of Banga Monocomunal Highway and also the Ganta Harper Highway. So if there's anything starting, I think we will see that. Glennie, please share that post. Let's see where this 100. Pastor Salif.
Is
Where
that
are we with the
another
no
class
car
too?
stuck in the mud?
When it comes to the no car stuck in the mud thing, you know, a project failure and its success, it depends on different variables. And I think politicians should learn to under promise and over perform. But what the UP administration did, they over promise, and that is the problem they're having right now. If I were part of the team to draft that 100-day, it would have been so reduced, it would have been so condensed and so concise that by now it would have been so visible. But like the no car stuck in the mud, that is too broad. It's not properly articulated. I mean, you should have had some specifics that, hey, in this, so that is the problem they are having. They were too ecstatic about, winning the elections and trying to put up a show. And so they came up with this overblown 100 days deliverable, and now it's catching up with them. So right now, the no car stuck in the mud thing, as far as I'm concerned, is not yet started because, and bear in mind, the rainy season is coming in. So when do you start? The rainy season is coming in. So if you've not done anything now, the good part of the dry season, what are you going to do in April, May? May the rain may start to come in, So I don't think it has started, and they have more to do to convince us that they can even push that. They can even move the needle 5 degree or 5% on the no car stuck in the mud thing.
Jimmy, just give me where you stand. Not started, in progress. And don't say cancel because General will say cancel for everything.
You know, the whole idea is turning an idea into reality or actualizing an idea involves several steps. Now, I think the VP or President Boakai has been vice president. He didn't have the reins of power then. Then he was in the elections. He could make all kinds of promises. And until he's in power, they will not hold him to it. But now he's president. So everything he says now, and if he doesn't do it, it's a different stage he's on now. And it's a different level. You can't just say you're going to do something and then it doesn't happen. He needs somebody who can make his things happen. And that requires research. It requires planning. It requires consultation. It requires resources, all these things. So when he's going to make these things, he needs that person who, so he says an idea, this guy know how to make it real. But maybe somebody like Shirley, who's a sustainable coach, maybe he needs somebody like that on his team. But if you don't have somebody who knows how to make these things happen, if these ideas come to your head and you simply blurt it out and it doesn't come, it's going to look bad on you. You are in a different phase now. You have to achieve anything that comes out of your mouth now is supposed to be achieved, and you're going to be judged by it. So I think he's got to realize this is a different stage and no more politics. This is reality now.
So where are we?
To your point,
hold on, where are we, Jimmy? I want you to give me something here. I'm on the project plan now.
When the roads have not even started yet.
Yeah, not started.
No.
Let's talk about the last point here, which the investigations, right? When something happened, and I'm not going to even add the murders during the pre-election murders, all those things. I was expecting some investigation by now, but they have not started. But I'm not going to hold by that. But when he took office, we saw that the inaugural program was a flop. The money given to Pastor Tappe.
Luther Tappe.
Yeah, Reverend Luther Tappe. Where are we with the investigation? And then the Army Wives, I think they were given 2 weeks. We saw the power theft, alleged power theft. There was a murder that took place there. And then Big Mountain. Also, the UP headquarters car attack. These are all investigations that we're looking forward to. Where are we, Victor?
I think Reverend Tappe may have made his report on his share of the inaugural funding. I think the $365,000. I think I saw somewhere where he may have made his report. So far, I think that is the only report that is in, as far as I know. The Army wives, that report should have been in, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, because that was February 11th, and I said it more than 3 weeks ago, because it was due within 2 weeks from February 11th. This is March 15th or so. We don't have that. As to the power theft murder, I don't even know where that is. B Mountain, I have absolutely no idea. Headquarters attack, no idea.
Glendy, do you have some ideas?
So I've heard that, like Victor is saying, like Reverend Tapper has presented his report, but we don't know because we haven't seen it. We haven't heard. I think he made up. There was a post that he's already done with his report. He has presented it. I also heard that Miata Formula presented her reports. I heard that the Army Wise report is done, but I've heard that it's classified. So based on that's what I've heard, but we have not. It has not come to the public's knowledge. But this is what we're hearing, that those reports are done. But I mean, there's been no information yet. We don't know what's in the report, but that's what I heard.
And that's a problem. That's a problem. When I joined the City of Fargo Human Rights Commission, that's what I told the city, that most time communication is a problem with government. If you publicly announce these things happen, the public saw these things, and you announce investigation into these things, we have the executive mansion press secretary, we have the Ministry of Information, we got LBS, we got so many channels of communication. So these things were public. The public is waiting eagerly. So if there's any report, like Brother Victor says, Glendy, it shouldn't be, oh, I heard. The government should be able to come out and communicate, articulate these things in clear terms so that the public stop asking questions. Because like I tell people, sometimes government don't really do wrong, but because they don't communicate, they keep the people thinking and assuming, and we start to over assume, and then we think government is doing something wrong. So if there's a report, I think it should be out there in the public square so that people know that, okay, the government is actually taking steps, the government is getting after these things. And these are some of the things that undermine government effort. They said President Weah was bobo. So I don't know what they will say of JNB now, because they're not communicating these things. We need to know. The public needs to know.
So these investigations, again, I would like to use that not started, in progress, 10% completion, complete, or cancel.
Right now, we can't even add a mass. We can't even come up with any percentage, but we don't even know what's happening. We can't
I'll be generous, since we have heard of Reverend Tapes, and now Glenn is
Reverend Tapes was like, he was like that. What he called report he was on there just defending himself.
They said not here. That's not a report.
He just told the folks that he broke the country down into $5,000 groups, and he took $1,000 of each of the 5. So he didn't give them 5. He took 20% off the top and gave them $4,000.
Is this a report, or what is it? Is this a report?
That's what he said. He said the people were complaining that there's a news out there that they each got 5,000, and the folks said no, we never got 5,000. Some of us got 4,000, and then Reverend Tapper said he took 1,000 each as administrative, since they
no, that's not what he said, though. In all fairness to him, because I gave him a hard time.
He said he took $1,000. He gave everybody $1,000.
No, he didn't take. What he said was this argument, because I have been behind this case, and I'm really giving him a hard time as a minister of the gospel, that I compelled him that he has to come forth, and he said, number one, he had promised that his report will come in 3 days. It didn't come in 3 days. It came after 3 weeks. What he said was, instead of giving the counties 5,000, all of the leaders of the different UP groups in the county, they met from the 14 different places or 15. They met and said, we want a portion for us. So that $1,000 was what he and those leaders decided it will be for them, for the leaders, so that they can have their own party different from the 4,000, and that was wrong. That was not what he was supposed to do. But I did hear that he presented his report already, but we don't know what's in the report. But I know what he has. That was what he said. He took 1,000 and gave it to the heads of the counties, and
So
then
that
they
what?
took the 4,000 for the other people.
And Glennie, can that pass for a report?
No, it's not.
All
That's
right.
not
It's
a
not.
report.
So report is not how you.
But I'm saying subsequently, after he explained that story, I think it was sometime last week when he did some press conference, and I think that his report was ready and he was presenting it. So he has presented it in paper, but we haven't seen it yet. A man like him, maybe very silly for go tell him when you pastor, you said he kind of thing, you got to do it correct.
Yeah, if you give me, I mean, I tried talking to him several times. We spoke once. Since after we're good friends all the way from Nigeria. We spoke once, but since then, he's not taking my calls anymore. So I just stopped calling.
He told the national.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Friday Night Debate, and we are tracking President Joseph Newman Boakai's to-do list. So far, based on what we've seen so far, most of the things have not started or around 2% completion. We have reports, we don't see it. We have draft plans, and so really, Jimmy, this overall, based on the things that we are tracking, what's your overall impression? How you think Boakai is doing?
Well, as expected, it's a rough start. It is one thing being in a passenger seat or being on the campaign trail, but now you're in the driver's seat. There's a lot of things he's going to have to learn, and I can tell by even his appointments. Of course, he's trying to appease everybody, but he needs people who can actually do. People who can actually make things happen. And that's what I'm failing to see. So I think there's going to be a period of learning, which is expected. We need to give him at least a year before he picks up, if he's going to pick up and change. But I think we're going to have to give him no less than a year to learn the ropes. And then he will realize the kind of leader he wants to be, the kind of administration he wants to have. Then he will start making amends to some of the things that are going on today.
Mr. Ismail, let me push back real quick there. When you and I were on this platform for the past 6 years, we've been talking, the prevailing point here was that we needed a steady hand and experience, somebody who had been in government since 1964, work their way up to being an administrator, Minister of Agriculture, Director of LPMC, Vice President for 12 years, opposition for 6 years. Mr. Eastman, appease my inquisitor here. Tell me, why would somebody with 54 years of leadership and administrative skill, according to him, take a whole year to learn the role when he said we will hit the ground running as a rescuer? If I'm in a car accident or I'm drowning, and when the rescuers come, when that 911 call is made, I expect you to come and rescue me. Not give me 1 year, let me go get water and come and put the house fire out. That's not how it works, Jimmy.
But we have 6 years, he didn't learn.
No.
Well, let me answer you now.
Let me 6 years, he didn't do nothing.
Let me answer you now.
You said we didn't do it right, and you could do it. You remember Joseph Boakai said, you do not take grown man job and give it to a child. We want a job for grown men.
Let me help Mr. Eastman. Let me help Mr. Eastman. I think what Mr. Eastman is saying, I had a privilege. I flew a little bit, okay? So let's assume you work as an air hostess, you work as ground crew, you work as cabin crew. You've done all these things for over a year. It's different from sitting in the cockpit. And even in the cockpit, if you're sitting on the right hand as a co-pilot, it's completely different. Now that you are in the PIC seat, that is the pilot in charge, you are not in charge, the game is completely different. So all these other jobs Boakai has done, director for LPMC, vice president, opposition, nothing equates to being the president of the country. So now he's having a rude awakening that, listen, this is not what I thought. It was all a mirage. Now this is real reality. And so for me, my concern is, let us give them a benefit of the doubt, like Brother Jerome saying, let's give, not Jerome, Jimmy saying, let's give them, let's say, up to a year and see. Ivory Coast, they just concluded AFCON. They started very rough. Even me, I thought, oh, these guys are hosting and they're going to go out of the AFCON so soon. But at the end, they were able to come back and they lifted the trophy. So something start very rough. Let's give them benefit of doubt. The same thing with we say, hey, let's give him benefit of doubt. But then it ended up taking
Mr.
6
Salim,
years.
Mr.
Hold on,
Salim.
hold on, hold on,
Mr.
hold on.
Salim.
I want to hold on. I want to
Yeah.
bring in my colors now. So
Okay.
let me ask Glendy. Overall, President Boakai, with all these things that we are tracking, I think we've been very fair to him. How do you rate him so far? 50%. The things he told us he was going to do. How is he doing with them?
I
Good,
think 30. I think
better, or
30%.
fair, or poorly?
Oh, you said what?
Is he doing good? Is he doing poorly? Is he doing, or is it still too soon to know?
Well, it could be still too soon, but I think some of the things, because we don't know what's happening, I would say fairly. Because if they're in progress for me, I don't know what's going on. Until we know what's going on, and we will hope that we will not be, his presidency will not be one like we are, where we didn't hear from. We want to be able to know what's going on so we can follow the progress. So I would say for right now, where they are, I think the government is fairly getting along.
Mr. Namwe, fair, poor, good?
Yeah, I think I fairly even that look, I think and I'm agreeing with Jimmy here very grudgingly that we need to give them time. I think they overlooked the fact that they needed to build a coalition to win the presidency, and I think I think they're being handicapped by that because they have very, very contentious and competing interest in this coalition, and I think it's really, really, really getting in the way. But then again, there are these unforced errors that they themselves are making that are just unforgivable. So, relative to what I thought they would be by now, poor to fair, I would say.
Thank you. Jimmy, just one word. Poor, fair,
But
good.
what's the beginning of the question?
The question is, overall, everything that we are tracking tonight, how is President Boakai doing in the first 50
Jimmy,
days?
that's submission.
No, look at that. I would give him the same rating that we give all new managers when they come in the beginning. We say developing. Developing.
All right.
After a year when you've been there, you don't get developing again. In the beginning, we give you developing.
No, but Jimmy, this is different now because if you give me your project plan and say I'm going to do this, do that, and I'm looking at all of them, and I see not started, and where I said developing.
Because it's the beginning. That's the only time you get that pass.
Let's bring in our callers now. We have a lot of callers waiting here. The first is
Livingstone.
No.
Elvis Morris.
Elvis Morris.
How come? When I'm certain it shouldn't be Elvis this time? I see. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it's good. Elvis Morris, you're the first.
Of course.
Elvis, I've been here 10 minutes. Go ahead, Elvis. You're live.
Thank you, Mr. John, and hello to the panelists. I want to give you an announcement. The people have been calling me to tell me that I should tell you that the Sanu County Superintendent Job is off the table.
Oh my God!
How you just hit the man in the face without
Let me respond to Mr. Salim, the thing what he said about Ivory Coast and Joseph Boakai. Respectfully, I say this so people get mad, but you think 82 or 83 years old Joseph Boakai will hit his second win in 3 years' time to overcome some of the slow starts he's had? The energy is not gonna go up. It's only gonna go down. Age is only gonna take more of a toll after 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So please, this is his best chance to hit the ground running. He hasn't done that. But in all fairness to the president, I think the lack of resources right now in the government has stagnated a lot of the projects that they
want. Hold on. To declare your asset, what resources do you need?
No, I ain't say all of them. I said a lot of them. I said to declare. They may have already declared technically, but he hasn't published.
Yeah, but then no minister has followed suit. What resources you need?
That's why we talk about the energy, Mr.
Yeah, but what resources do you need for the ministers to declare their asset, just like you told them? What resources do you need if you do your drug test?
We know the Liberian people knew this, Mr. John. The people knew that quote unquote Boakai was not a quote unquote, I don't want to use the word because he's a man, but he's not a mommy pepper kind of person who's gonna really put it behind you to get things done. He's gonna take his time. He's gonna move like a turtle. He's gonna take his time, and that's not the kind of leader we need in Liberia. That's why some of us were apprehensive. But the people chose Joseph Boakai, a man who moves slowly. So you're not expecting to be, on people's back the way he's supposed to be. So that's one of the issues that we have right now. But if you get to the other topic with the Koji issue, I think, yes, the language is a little tough. But like I said in one of my comments, look, the chance for violence in that country is low, but it's never zero. There's always a possibility that things can get inflamed, especially when it comes to political, people perceive political intolerance. Things can get very bad very quickly, as Mr. Eastman was saying. So I think the government, being a responsible government, has to be cognizant of those things and not make too hasty of a decision to just do things arbitrarily that's going to affect political parties. When they feel disenchant or when they feel disenfranchised, they're going to act out. So let the government move, with caution. And lastly, this whole issue of the Boakai projects and how he's doing. Look, so far I will give this president a C. And it's a possibility that I can go up to an A once he establishes the work in the War Crimes Court, especially. But everything else is not only based on his lack of leadership. I think a lot of it is based on a lack of resources. I'm being fair today, and I'll be fair on this president until he gives me a reason not to be fair to him. So I think that would be my take on it. I'll get up to the line, give other people a chance. Lack of resources is what's hindering him.
Thank you. Let me go to Trogon Bayou. Go ahead, Trogon.
Good evening, Dennis. Good evening, everyone. I got a question for my sister, Lenny. Lenny, are you really sure you want to be defending this administration?
I'm a Liberian.
This Boakai administration?
You want me to answer you, Trogon? By you?
Yes, I pretty soon.
You all right?
I hope you have a second thought about defending this administration. On the topic tonight,
I swear to God,
we don't really know what's going on in Liberia because there's nothing the government is doing except to come with big grandstanding announcement like War Crime Code, asset declaration. But besides that, nothing else. We haven't heard about any shovel going on the ground in the first place. No shovel. The 100-day. What's the 100-day plan? You're going to get into the 50, okay, you already in the 50 days, you're into the 70 or 80 days before you come out with a 100-day plan, then you execute it in 20 days? How possible is that? I mean, I always tell people it is very easy to criticize, especially when it comes to administration. When you're standing on the outside, you can see a whole lot. Or when you're inside, when that ball drops on your desk, it's a whole different ball game. So in the beginning, I knew Boakai administration were not going to accomplish all these things that they were naming in the first 100. They were just a talk. And they just kind of bamboozled the Liberian people so they wanted to win election. But we keep hope alive. We're not going to give up.
Thank you.
We are hoping that they will do the right thing and get this thing started. Because right now, everything is on a zero level. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Adams, you're live. Stephen, you are live. Okay, let me go to Siatak.
Good evening.
Oh, go ahead.
Good evening to the panelists. Good evening, Dennis. I have an interesting take on this government. First of all, I would say that it appears to me that most of the people that were advocating for change in Liberia pretending to be in the best interest of the country was simply there to get jobs and maybe get their share of whatever of the wealth they can get from the country. If I were to grade this government with respect to its pronouncement on the 100 Days Project, I would grade it at about 20%. In fact, almost near zero, because it hasn't done anything that can be seen. Clearly, when you pronounce projects and before you even 90 days, 60% of the project performance, you have to re-baseline at a 0 point, and that means you're not going to accomplish anything. If that's going to be the movement of this government over the next 6 years, and I can assure you guys that perhaps this government will perform even worse than what George Ware did. That is my honest opinion. I think the current government situation is in chaos. It's completely distorted. I think it seems like it's like a chicken wire in their head. They don't know where they're going. And I must agree with most of the panelists on there, except for those who are trying to make excuse that we have to wait and wait and wait and wait. They just started. You had 6 years to see everything in the country was going bad. You had now almost 5 months to see that to have seen that you will win election and that you will prepare yourself to implement the policy that you have been articulating. Instead, you're just making excuses and nothing going wrong. There is a propensity that this country could revert into some serious chaos if this type of attitude continues to persist. Thank you.
Thank you. Siata Colley. Oh no, maybe this is not Siata.
Yeah, good evening to all the panelists. I hear all your deliberations.
What's your name?
My name is Joseph Colley.
Joseph Colley. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, to my sister, Glennie. I know, I call you my sister because I got a lot of Grable family and thing. I grew up on 12th Street. Be very careful, man. I think you see Ali ran away. He can't stand the pressure because the heat is there. It's coming. So be very careful, man, how you defending the people. I'm from Lofa. That's my uncle. But you can see how he started. There is nothing that he has done. Everything that he has done. He is a leader. If this was a military man leading a group, leading a troop, what was going to happen on the war front? There is nothing that he say come to fluidity. And, everything that he has said is backward. You're talking about the yellow machine you saw. Anybody could just go take picture of the yellow machine and say, yeah, the war has started. And the jungle justice thing that you guys were talking about regarding Koji, yeah, they made you a Liberian. We all need to be careful with the little fragile piece that we got. They need to know that CDC have been in the thing, even when we have the multi or national force in Liberia. And when you have a lot of people that are over there and not working, you need to be very careful with situation. Things can escalate very quickly.
Thank you.
So people are not working there in the street. Just $10 or $15, you'll make people to go help us scatter in that place. We all need to be careful with our word. We should speak truth to power. When it's not be done, let's tell the people that this is not done. We need to do the right thing. We all need to be on the same page telling our people that they should do the right thing. Not misleading them. Oh, this is not George Weah time. Campaign is over. You said everything with your experience that you had. This is the time for you to hold the bull by the horn and move it. And we see it and follow you. But you who are doing the thing, you can't set the precedent.
Thank you.
It's just a chaos, man.
Thank you. And Glennie talked about the yellow machine, and she sent me some pictures. So you be the judge.
I didn't create the post. I just only shared what I saw.
Exactly.
If other people didn't see it, that's on them. I'm interested in Liberia, so I follow Liberia's story.
Yeah, Glendy, and I credit you for that. I appreciate what you share, and I'm sharing them to the public too.
Yeah.
Just as I received them from Ms. Glendy. Let me take on our next caller here, and it's Teddy Ted Lion Yankun, the citizen from North Fargo, North Dakota. Go ahead, sir.
Thanks very much. It's Teddy Ted Lion Yankun. Well,
You know, if anything happens in that country, this will derive from people like, like Sid Glendy and all
You're
Liberians.
not easy. You're not easy to know with my name. You're really not easy to know. You think I'm not Liberian, right? You think I don't have an opinion? You're not easy.
I got with a few minutes. This is your show.
Yeah.
No,
let me just,
talk what you want to say. You are a Liberian. Speak your issue and leave me out of it.
Go ahead, Teddy.
I don't want to bring war in Liberia. You serious? You're not serious. So no, don't equate my name to war stuff.
Yeah.
Don't equate my name. You want to make a point, make a point. Don't equate my name to war.
People not saying it too.
No, don't equate my name to war. I hear what you said. Let me put you on mute.
During our administration, we've been killed in the first few weeks of this main administration, killed seditions. So if Mr. Koji speaks like that, no one saying as a decent people or civilized people that want to encourage these kind of things. But the fact is that also we equate it related to the situation, the way people are pushing seditions or CDC to the wall. If you push people to the wall, they will have to defend themselves. If Mr. Boakai can come up and do the right thing as a responsible government, responsible president, and some responsible people to take care of the asset recovery issues and go back to certain length of years, then CDC will not come out like this and just speak like this. But I can assure you that Boakai will not do this because Boakai's wife have her hands in the cookie jar of the group of 67 money and a lot of money.
77.
And Boakai instead will not publicly declare asset because he's having millions of dollars properties in Sierra Leone and around the world. He cannot do that, but if he does, which means those people will croak into muzzle.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you. Thank you. And don't go at Glendy like that. She had no record of inciting violence.
No, what I'm saying is that.
No, I got your point. I got your point.
She's not doing that. She's not doing that. But me is that the little bagging wrong, anything and
no, she's expressing her opinion. She's not backing wrong. Let me go to Bindu.
Oh yeah, hi brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, okay. One of the things I heard when people were talking about what Yake is saying, I'm not a supporter of Yake, just a disclaimer, and I will never be. I don't support what he said. But he made a very prudent point the other day when he talked. He said, on Boakai Wash, people were killed in Cape Montgomery at the mine, and Boakai haven't been there. That's a very serious point. This is one of the major things that have happened on his watch. He should have gone there to at least sympathize with the Liberians that were killed. We have not seen him done it yet. We have not publicly heard him say anything about it. And I think those are the things that can make people to start to trust that government. Also, one of the things that I see that's happening in our country is we condone wrong actions. We see the mob openly beating and hurting people. Again, our government is saying nothing about it. We had an old lady that just died. And I personally really got hurt about that old lady business. Because guess what? It could have been my grandmother. It could have been anybody's grandmother. By the time you're old and you're poor and you're hungry, you become rich. So who is the next rich? Government or nobody have come out to say anything. That's why I posted on my page. Mr. Police Director, what are you saying? This is on your watch. This is in the broad open day. And none of these people have masks on. So you can find them. But I think one of our major problems is we start big. And that's what bothers the present administration. They come with this big promise. 100 days, I will not do this. I think what we need to do first, even though we are 100 years old, we need to start with the system in place. We need to find a way that we can trust each other. So we can because I was in a discussion and I told people, in America, if you get a ticket, nobody's going to come to your door to harass you. If I don't pay my bill, there is no mirror prayer to come to my door. But guess what? They will get me. They can stay right in the AEP office and turn my light off. The police not going to follow me if I have a ticket and I don't pay it. They will get me. Because guess what? I will go renew my license. Can it happen in Liberia? Can we start doing those things? People will start putting ambitious plans out there. You know, Liberia is the only country that we have. And until we start taking it serious, we got a long haul to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Benu. Let me take our last caller here, and it's Mr. Anthony Gay. He's if he was running for Senate and he didn't get there, he withdrew from the campaign before he started. Go ahead, Mr. Gay.
Yeah, when you don't want to be defeated and then give full excuses, you accept the ground. You know what? You pull out.
That's why you don't touch the depth of a water with both feet. So you move one foot.
So here's my take, right? And I'm gonna piggyback on it where the sister just left, right? Liberia does not have a national registry. Neither do we have what we call a command center for the police to be able to do their work. And how do I know? I get called about when they had the protest with Henry Costa. After 2 hours, when the vehicle was in the possession, was in the possession of the police. They then IG, Patrick Sulu said, we don't even know if the vehicle is registered to Yeke or if he's reading this vehicle. That clearly said that the police had custody of the vehicle over 2 hours and they didn't even know if the vehicle was registered to Yeke or if it was on Vita car. That cannot happen in the United States or any developed country. President Boakai set the bar so high expectation, and they are not living up to it. So the only reason why getting 25% is because he was able to appoint at least 85% of his cabinet. We have 15 counties. Now one superintendent has gone through confirmation hearing yet.
Okay.
This is sci-fi nation. This is a person who sat right next to the president for 12 years. You left office after 6 years and you don't know what to do on day 1, on day 2, on day 3. Come on, you are not new to government. The reason why you are bragging is because you have X amount of experience in government and you have brought back many of Ellie's employees, so to speak. Why are you dragging your feet? This is the reason why I give you 25%. Poor. If you score 25 out of 100, that's a very bad grade. Nigerian people, just stop settling for less. Like the secretary director said, if there is a police cruiser on the side of the road, what are not a police officer in a car? Everyone that is coming down that street will slow down. Because we know the aftermath. If you speed, you're going to get a ticket. And if that ticket is higher, the insurance premium will go up. You will have points on your license. The consequences go along. That's the reason why we do what we do here, because it's not because we are law abiding, it's because the system compels us to abide by law.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. But our people have refused to do the right thing. They will justify and justify and justify. That's what we will do. And that's because that reason, our country is not going to go anywhere. A country of 5 million plus people,
God forbid.
Minimum security apparatus in uniform. And all dealer security is supposed to be at least 50,000.
Where we go, Dennis?
Thank you, Anthony.
To address 5 million people. We don't even have 20,000 or now, even 10,000.
Thank you.
So thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, Jimmy, your best friend, Sam Wallow, say, so what are the good things the Boakai, I mean, we are tracking what Boakai promised. What has he done, Sam? And Sam will always list the good things he said they haven't cabinet meeting. And here are the good things Sam wants us to talk about, right? Financial audit initiated.
Let's
talk about the audit that was promised to for CBL, NSA, and EPS. Has it started?
Not to my knowledge.
Right. And Sam keeps singing this same song. The audits have not, he said, initiated. To talk about something is supposed to be an accomplishment. HPS came, we heard the thing with two HPS with 30,000. Now they say they're bringing 5 billion. That's an accomplishment. Asset declaration, he considered it done. The entire cabinet has not, they have not declared their asset. And he say, come on, Sam, you can do better than this. Let's go around the room.
Yeah.
Let me get your responses to the callers and also Sam Wallow. accomplishments.
Everybody is expressing the same thing. Okay, we expected a lot more. It took for granted that, especially since Boakai was in the old government, the Toba government, he knew how things were run. He would have taken notes, and he knows how to administrate. He knows how to manage. He knows, but you can be somewhere sometimes and get by without learning. So now we hear him with nice sound bites. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. How you're going to do it? I think what the rescue team needs now is a rescuer, someone who knows how to implement things, someone who knows how to put plans together to affect the change. I don't see that member of that team yet, but once they get somebody with that type of mindset to actualize all the things that President Boakai wants, then they will be on their way. Until they have that person, they're going to struggle.
Thank you. Glendy, your response to the colors. I know you were sparring with one of them. we don't want to get the charm, man, you know.
No, the thing about it is, I think we all have our opinions, and each of us have a side that we would rather support. It's important for me to note here that I'm a Liberian first. I'm not from UP. I'm not from ANC. I'm not from Liberty Party. I'm a Liberian. What I did was not to support George Weah, because when it came down to George Weah Boakai, I was a coming sympathizer until we went to the second round. But I'm entitled to my opinion. You can't call and equate me to when war come to the country, it will be somebody like, it will be because of people like Glenda. Who are you? Do you know me? How can you come and even say that? That's not a fair characterization. Everybody's entitled to that. Don't equip me to why I had people who died in the war. My father was county attorney when the war started in 1980 in Grand Bassa County. And I have stories from there. He went to jail. So don't come and don't ever do that. Come and equate me. And when I listen to Chokon Bayi, I think he's from Grand Bassa County. He should know me.
But he named Chokon now.
Yeah, he should know me and come and tell me to come to even surmise that he thinks I'm supporting the things that Boakai does. Listen, if Joseph Boakai does wrong,
he also said you gribble.
Yeah, and I'm not gribble. My father was from Grand Bassa County. My mother is from Sino. My grandfather is mixed crew and Mandingo. I'm Bassa. I'm not gribble woman. Don't assume that. Maybe because of the hair tie. There's a reason why I tie my hair. I'm just saying. Why would he think because gribble and Bassa people like to tie hair? Why would he think I'm a gribble woman?
Oh, you are
because gribble women fine. So that's all.
Okay, that because gribble women fine. But anyway, everybody is entitled to their opinion. Listen, Dennis.
Glendy.
Hold on, Jerome.
I won't take that from you. You look at a beautiful Bassa woman. You said because gribble women.
Look at the got fine gribble women. Oh.
Yeah, but we got fine Bassa women too. Look at you.
Okay, but anyway, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everybody, we're at a place right now. We want Liberia to do better, and just like I said, there are certain things that's going to happen if Joseph Boakai will step up to the plate and hold those people accountable. And if he doesn't do that, we also have to continue to keep speaking out and hold him accountable. These are things that if you're sitting there and if you did your declare your assets weeks ago and no one else has followed you, that's on you. You're the president. And there's an expectation that you set the example. But I think people should also, I don't mind when people, people now started calling me a politician. I'm not a politician, I'm a Liberian. But I would hope that people understand, I follow Liberian story more than anything. I'm open with everything in the country, everything that goes on. So don't see me and think I'm a novice. So I installed Liberian noise here.
Mr. Nawe, and Trump, why you say he knows you very well?
Oh, I think he should know me. He should know, and he should know my father, JNB Plan Jr. too.
He
And
know,
I
you know,
know,
he
I
grow, he
know
know.
Glennie very well. She's a full-blown politician. She's the outgoing president, the immediate past president of the Cotton Alumni Association.
Don't
So she
mind her.
not gonna sit down here and
Don't
can't give
mind
us,
her.
you know. But what I wanted to say, the callers, they make some good points. You know, in Liberia, we always say, "Oh, you know what? That man a good man. Only thing they put around him, they're not advising him properly." You know, what we do here for the people in government is to help them, to give them the soundbite, the opinion outside of the regular echo chamber, and they need to listen to us. They need to listen to the politicians. We always make that mistake when people are, you know, the public opinion matters, because these are the people who we will go to during the campaign and the elections time. And if you listen to the callers here tonight, almost 90% of the callers, if not 100%, you know, didn't seem to have any appreciation of what this government is doing. Now, you may say it's a very small sample size, but now with Senate, you can extrapolate and come up with, you know, very good, you know, statistics. So they need to listen. When we're talking here, you know, we're not necessarily, you know, talking at them or knocking on them. We're just giving them the feedback. The feedback for this government out there is not good. It's not good, because there is a lot that we really think they could do and they should do that they are not doing. You know, the president is still on this replacement or tenure people. I mean, I don't think he is even giving it any thought, in spite of the outcry and all of that. So, you know, I think the you know, the callers, they're expressing what they're feeling. I mean, I don't agree with some of the personal things they're saying to people here, but generally, I think the government should listen, and it's not even late yet to course
Thank you.
correct.
Thank you. Mr. Pastor Salif.
Thank you, Dennis. I mean, there were some really good points that the callers made, but since we're responding to the callers, I think I want to respond to this one person who tried to accuse Glendy of some, you know, what I call a sedition or whatever. If something happens, you know, is that would be disingenuous. Okay, this is a national debate. Everybody should be entitled to their opinion. That's one. Number two, everybody should have their own political persuasion. They should support whoever they want to support civilly, and I think that's what Glendy has been doing. She's been very civil in all her remarks. So if you can think of her that way, to think, oh, a war comes, she will be blamed. But then you did not blame Jefferson Koji for all the remarks he made, and then you say they pushing sedition. No, if the government is not doing what you think should be done, there are legal recourse that you can follow. You can hold protests. It is allowed. You can go and air your opinion. You can go through the legal system. You can seek a redress. You can petition your legislature. There are so many things you can do, but not to stand under the tree with people around you and threatening war and threatening havoc and threatening to move people to different agencies if they, you know, feel their positions have been threatened. That is, I can love somebody. You can love the CDC, you can love the UP, but if they say something that is inflammatory, condemn it. Say, listen, I'm a sedition. I stand with the CDC, this, but this one Jefferson Koji said, I'm not part of it. Then that is what you call statesman. That means you've been honest, you've been fair, you've been equitable. But you did not say anything. You did not address what Jefferson Koji said or the threats he spewed, but you come after Glendy, who has been civil in her remarks. That was disingenuous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jimmy? Oh, Jimmy already talked. So let's,
I think I went first.
Let's go around the room.
Oh, but I didn't address
the callers.
Yeah, because we know what you were saying. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I will let me address Mr. Dennis Jar here. I think when most of us joined the Focus on Liberia crew, maybe we didn't submit our resume. If you talk to Victor Namwe, if people like Peter Dan, Harrison Jadia, these are folks that we aspired to when we were in high school in 1979. And if Mr. Ja didn't know that Victor Namwe, Sano Wayne, all of these people that we call true believers, and for you to have doubted that some of us were there in 1979, I'm shocked.
No, I said you didn't participate.
How dare you?
like
How
I said,
dare you, Mr. Jao? I will attest that Mr. Gimel is a bona fide.
The truck came, but you didn't get to Gullah Street when the riot started. But go ahead.
Jerome, move on. Don't mind Dennis, man. He's pulling your leg. Go ahead.
There you go. But anyhow, listen, when we talk about the colors, we all love our country. And the reason that some of us, the true believers, when the first 6 months from the third month of President we have been in power, we started to see major demonstrations. In fact, so much so that one of the biggest voices in the opposition said, we will drag the president and we will murder him and his head will be dragged the streets of Monrovia. And we all sat there. And from every corner.
So Koji doing the same thing.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here.
More than that, Dennis, that's what they were doing to Madam Selly. So you shouldn't forget that.
Thank you, Jordan Casket.
That's correct. And prior to that.
And Mr. Boakai is of that government. Don't forget.
That's correct. And prior to that, the initial casket was told at the White House here. And my uncle Tom, what were you? And the rest. The Jangaba Junking Bala, the whole crew. That was the original group of guys who told the casket first here at the White House in Washington, D.C. So what I'm saying here is Liberia has a history of advocacy and tolerance. And for someone to say, let's revert to the 1970s and 60s, let hunt them like Todman hunted Coleman.
Oh, come on.
I think we should not go that route. Freedom of speech is here to stay, and let us rejoice in it. Thank you.
Thank you. You now speaking like you're from the AME church. Let's rejoice in it.
Well, he might have gone to Monroe College. You might have gone to Monroe College.
Thank you very much for the spirited debate. At this time, we're going to close. And before we close, I want to hear your 1 minute closing comment. Let's start with Glendy.
Great show, Dennis. Or as always, I think we look forward to coming on here. Last week, I talked about the fact we missed Mr. Gaiman, and today he's in full force. Full force today. So, I mean, we're like we said, we want to hold the government accountable to what things that we need, what needs to be done. Liberia deserves better. So we anything less than better is going to be unacceptable. So hopefully they're paying attention. That is to the Senate, legislature, and the judiciary. We will be paying attention to them, and we'll be sounding some noise all around to ensure that these things that are supposed to happen, that they promised they will do, that they will do them. So great show, great being here. I like the fact that I'm the only woman here tonight, and Jerome is from Bassa like me, and he can overpower me. Jerome, welcome back. We miss you.
Jerome forgetting to know your son won the 200 meters.
So
you that can give birth to that son, you're faster than Jerome.
Thank you.
Why is the Boakai government promising the Liberian people on things they are not by force to say without delivering them? Example, I will declare and publish my asset, but he only declares his asset. The Liberian people must manage their expectation again. Fix electronics said in boxing match, everyone punches. Sam Wallow, there's a guiding principle that Liberia has not learned. The people who break the system or blow things up cannot be the one to fix it. The ongoing presence of people from the destructive past is the primary reason for the nation's inability to succeed. I don't know who are the people from the destructive past, but that's his position. Wilson, come on. But all these CDC supporters on this show have failed here to point out the many wrongs the past government has left behind, especially the destroying every system within every ministry and agency. Right, and talking about Karen Cascade, Stephen Adams said he did the same thing in Georgia. I don't know.
The irony was not that they did the same thing here. The thing that Victor was pointing out is that they started from Ellington.
Yeah.
Okay. Victor.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I would join Brother Gilman here and let young Jeff Koji to understand that the freedom that we're all taking for granted, they are all enjoying. We pay dearly, blood, sweat, and tears to be able to challenge the government. But he has to remember that freedom comes with responsibility. You can't just gather around a street corner and threaten and incite people to violence. I think if he continues to do that, I will write the government. If I have to write him, they need to call him in because he's disturbing the peace. Yes, we have a right to protest. We have a right to challenge the government. But I think there is a manner and form in which it can be done without threatening life. It's threatening the peace. This government, I think they're slowly finding their footing. But again, they came to rescue and arrest, right? If you came to arrest a situation, I think you recognize the urgency. I am still yet to see the urgency that this government is addressing the plight of the people, and that really bothers me. Hopefully they'll get it right, but we're coming up on the 100 days. And almost everything that was promised would have come at pass. But hopefully they'll redeem themselves. So thank you. It was a great show. Jerome, welcome back from LIB. Glendon, congratulations again. We're all proud of the boy. Give him our regards. Thank you.
Thank you. They say when the short man and the tall man stand at the same place and look up, they will all see the sky at the same time. So sometimes
Mr. Parable.
Advantage.
Listen,
Mr. Kelly, you're closing.
Mr. Jai, you need to read this thing. You got to put it in a book.
No, as I speak, quote me. Write book. Socrates never wrote a book. So most of the geniuses don't write. You write.
Okay. You see Socrates? I'm glad I'm seeing Socrates in the real form.
Pastor Salif.
Yeah, thank you. To Jimmy's point,
I already have 2 books out there. You have not bought anyone.
Oh, I'm definitely going to buy one. Or buy a book actually.
To Jimmy's point, Jimmy said, maybe the administration should have looked for some other people and, reference me. I got friends in that administration in JNB. Most of the top guys in the administration, they were my classmates. And I told them, listen, I've been apolitical all my life, but right now our country is at a crossroads. I'm willing to come and help. And all of that just fell on deaf ears. So that is that. But this is my advice to the JNB administration. I think as a coach, he needs to pull his cabinet in the room and really energize them and galvanize them and let them know, listen, we came as a rescue team. We have 100 days deliverable. We're going over 50 days. We got to do something. We have to course correct. There has been too many missteps, but they can still course correct. There's still time, but let them come together and let them know what this movement is about. This movement is about doing the right thing and, taking us away from the past. And when I mean from the past, not just George Weah, but Ellen Johnson and all the other times, that we've been down the road. This is the time we have to sit down. We'll recalibrate the whole system and say, listen, we can do this, we can do this, we can get this done, reduce some of those things in bite sizes, and, appoint people meritoriously, okay? That should be complete. Let's employ people based on the merits, people that are skilled in certain things and not just partisan. I want to thank Dennis and all my panelists for a great show tonight. Let us please just for the benefit of doubt, let's give them the benefit of doubt. Like Jimmy said, maybe the first year, and let's see how far this thing go. Let us not just write them off so soon. I think there is still time to course correct.
Reverend, I'm not sure if I understand. You seem to imply or suggest that the government starting phase and start is on the cabinet. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
No, say that again.
I'm not sure if I agree with you that this government, the poor rollout, phase and start can be blamed on the cabinet. That's why you.
No. I'm not blaming the cabinet. I'm saying the president should have a meeting with his cabinet and really energize them to know what the movement is, that we got something to deliver. We got work to do. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's do the job for which the Liberian people sent us here. Let's course correct. And
Thank you. And for those of you, I used to run a blog called stereotypeliberia.com. If you go there, on the Liberian proverbs, you will see some of my proverbs. So I just Google my name. I used to write a lot on the internet, but this one is
every time I Google your name, the Sano comes up.
Mr. Jai, even though Sano is gone, they can still give you superintendent anywhere. You are Liberian.
We're not even sure whether Sano is gone.
I know, right? It could be propaganda.
Right?
Discourage
me, or that person would not be confirmed.
I think it's a political plot to make you to drop your intention.
Right.
Good night.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Gaiman.
I think we.
He didn't say anything yet.
Yeah, he has not given his
yes, Mr. Salih, welcome.
I thought you were asking who he was again.
Huh?
I thought you were asking who Brother Salih made here.
Give me a real sedition. That man used to be high here.
Mr. Salih, you are well versed in your area. Great show, great presentation. We love to have people who are not intimidated and know their honor. They understand their craft and they defend it no matter what. And that's what this is all about. But, we love Liberia. I want people to understand the reason we are saying that there's a culture in this country, in American politics, that we call a particular practice that we call, and I'm going to keep saying this over and over, and people have been calling me and say, what do you mean when you say whacking the dog? It's an American expression in politics. When you are in trouble, you put up a smoke screen. In the United States, usually dropping bomb on a country and starting to kind of divert the attention. The Boakai administration, on a session that screen pressure, that they came up with this smoke screen about asset recovery. That is a legal, it's a legal instrument that takes years. In fact, Dr. Abdullah Dukle just landed in Liberia and he wrote on this piece. He said that process would take years, maybe 5 to 10 years. And then he also said about the War and Economic Crime Court. He reminded folks, those who are celebrating the letter from the House, he says in the past, there were 51 lawmakers that signed a petition for War and Economic Crime Court, only to die on the floor or in some committee room. So these are things that were not happy. So we are using this as a smokescreen. This is why we are saying, don't celebrate this War Economic Crime Court. It will not happen. Don't celebrate asset recovery. It will not happen. Doe did it. Yankwa Zeze was the director of reacquisition. Nothing happened. Ellen did it. George, we have tried it. It didn't happen. It required massive resources to just put a team together and maintain the team. I'm not even talking about the recovery. You talk about nationwide, worldwide event here. So this is why we are saying we need to deal with the bread and butter issue and don't concentrate on War Economic Crime Court. It's not going to happen. Asset recovery is not going to happen. But it was a great show. Glendy, I love you. We're going to Basa. We're going to eat. In fact, the video that you and your sister Bronsky made, I have retweeted it 1,000,000 times to everybody. They love it too. Basa girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're the man, good man.
Yeah. Where's Dennis?
Dennis. the first
He gone
lady.
to Sano County to protest his.
He taking Joseph Boakai call.
We're going to Sano.
I give you my word. Just go for the second time. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, I would just end my. I don't think he's in the stream. I'm looking at him. He's not in the stream right now. Maybe he logged off to come back. So
go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, so we see one thing. People support VP Boakai. It's a new administration. For him to guide himself to make sure his people do what they want to do, he needs to set up a system that's going to make sure that his people are doing the right thing. And that's the only way. I mean, right now, it's already is what it is. And the only way to keep them doing the right thing is to have a system to make sure that they're meeting their objectives every quarterly, every mid-year, and every end of year, so that he can keep them moving in the direction they want. But what we have on hand is what it is, and let's to make use of what you have, you got to keep them on the ball. So that's it for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been a great session. We got two more. We got full focus on Liberian Marketplace tomorrow, and we got On Point on Sunday. Don't miss it. Be there or be square.
Thank you very much. And as always, in our show, we say you can be from UPP, you can be from UP, you can be Torso and Torso, Mr. Jimmy, or you can be the beautiful lady from Boston. We say we are all Liberian.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all.
We are Liberian. Liberia is our home.